welcome back. We are going to jump into Medicare Supplement Plans. This, as Mikkel mentioned, was the first option that you have to kind of offset some of the gaps in original Medicare. So these work as a secondary to your original Medicare. You'll have Medicare that will pay your claims first, and then you have a bunch of different supplement plans that we're going to go over that you can choose from to help pay for all of or a portion of what Medicare does not cover. And so we have a little chart here that's going to help break that down. So as you can see down the side here, you have all of the different benefits that you are responsible to pay for. And that's what original Medicare does not cover. Across the top line here, we have all of the different plans, plans A through N. Some of them have been phased out over the years. And as you can see, plans C and F over here are kind of in the process of being phased out. So if you are going to be eligible for Medicare on or after January 1st of 2020, then a plan C or a plan F is not going to be available to you. But that's perfectly fine. There's a lot of really good options still without those being available to you. So for an example, one of the more popular plans right now is a plan G. And so this plan, Medicare will pay their portion. They're going to pay their 80%, and then you're going to have that 20%, which will be covered. All of those hospital copays and stuff will be covered. Everything on this plan will be covered except for your Part B deductible, which, if you remember, is $226. So for the year, you will pay $226 out of pocket, after which the plan will pay 100%. Some important things to know about Medicare supplement plans is that they're going to pay, like we said, all or a portion of your Medicare gap insurance. And they are, as far as premium is concerned, a little bit more expensive as compared to Medicare Advantage plans. As you could see on the previous slide with the chart, there are plans that cover a little bit less than what the plan G that we briefly went over. Each plan, the less it covers, the cheaper it's going to cost you premium-wise. The more it covers, obviously, the more expensive it's going to cost you month to month. Supplement plans only pay as long as Medicare pays first. So in the example that Mikkel gave earlier in this video series about the young lady that had her arms broken, the skilled nursing claim was not covered by Medicare, the supplement in that case probably would not have covered that claim either, so she'd be stuck with that whole bill. Supplement plans are not network based, and so they can be taken anywhere that Medicare is available. So any providers that take Medicare can take your supplement regardless of if they have heard about it or not.
Another thing to note about Medicare is like a plan G, like what Colton went over in the previous slide. A plan G is going to be the same from company to company.
Right.
What it's covered has to be the same. So if you get a plan G through Mutual of Omaha, that's going to be the same as if you got a plan G through United Healthcare. The only thing that's different is what it's going to cost you and how often there's rate increases. So something to keep in mind, to shop around and make sure that you're getting the best price and a company that is reputable for having lower rate increases, because your coverage is going to be the same no matter what company you go with. What you kind of need to shop around for is what's going to be a good price and how often they like to raise those prices, because they're all going to raise them. That's kind of inevitable with the world we live in. But it's important to know which companies have more rate increases more often and higher rate increases and that type of thing.
Right. Another important thing to note that's not on this slide here, but if you are going to be changing supplement plans in the future after you've originally signed up on one or going from Medicare Advantage to a Medicare supplement plan, they do require them to be underwritten. So you got to go through medical underwriting in order to be able to get on to a supplement plan after your initial enrollment period. So when you're first eligible for Medicare, you can choose any supplement, no medical questions asked. They won't look at any of that. Moving forward to change or to go from Advantage to supplement, from one supplement to another, you will go through medical underwriting. So every now and then that can be an issue for some people.
And just to clarify, because I didn't know this until we got into insurance, underwriting means they're going to ask you your health history, all of those questions, if you've been hospitalized, what medications you're on. And so based on how you answer some of those questions, they'll determine whether you're eligible or not to switch supplements. So, yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So some of the gaps in Medicare supplement plans are kind of like we talked about skilled nursing. If your skilled nursing claim is not covered because Medicare didn't pay for it, then like Mikkel said, they're not going to cover it. The supplement won't cover it. and you could be stuck with that bill. Another option, you could get a short-term care policy, long-term care policy. All of those things will kind of help offset those costs. Those are things that we can help you look at and see if it's a good fit for you or not. They're not for everybody, but it is an available option if you would like to add that onto your coverage. Another thing that can cause your out-of-pocket expenses to get a little bit higher would be cancer. Your treatments, doctor's visit, hospitalization, stuff like that, between a supplement and your Medicare are going to be covered for the most part all inclusively, but you could end up having to travel, need to stay in hotels, different things like that as you're getting your treatments. Or you might just have some prescriptions that you have to take after your main treatments are done. And sometimes those can get very, very costly. And so a cancer policy will help offset some of those costs.
A story to go along with that, we actually have a client who had a rare blood disorder that turned into leukemia. Is that
I think
what it was?
something like that.
Yeah, so it turned into leukemia, and this happened right as he turned 65, and so we got him on a Plan G because, like we said, that's the most comprehensive. He went to another state, received a stem cell transplant, was in the hospital for 60 days in a private room. All he owed was that $226 deductible as far as his medical costs go. However, he had to fly to and from Denver because he couldn't make the drive because of his health conditions. And I think he had to stay in a hotel right before the transplant and right after. And his wife was there with him. And so there was a lot of extra costs that were accrued beyond just the stem cell transplant. There was the travel costs, the hotel costs, the food costs for his wife while she was there with him. And so in that case, it would have been really nice for them to have a cancer plan because they could have had that extra money to help cover some of those costs. So just a real life situation to be aware of how that cancer policy would have helped him. So he didn't have it. He couldn't have qualified for it, but something to be aware of if that ever, something that you're worried about. There are options to kind of mitigate a lot of those extra costs associated with fighting cancer.
All right, there you have it. That is a brief overview of Medicare Supplement Plans. So go ahead and proceed to the next video to learn about prescription drug plans. That's Part D, and we'll tell you what you need to know over there. So we'll see you in a minute.